The AP poll dropped today, the week 2 edition. They have to delay it a little bit because they got the Monday night game. So here we go. Let's take a look at what our friends in the AP decided to drop on us. Ohio State is number 1. And Penn State's number 2. So there was some talk out there on the streets about LSU potentially being number 1. Well, LSU shouldn't be number 1. Ohio State just won a national title. Now, I don't participate in rankings world, but if I did, of course Ohio State's number 1. Stop trying to overthink the room on this. LSU was ultra impressive. That's why they're right there at number 3. If you want to put them at number 2, okay, that'd be fine with me. Ohio State's 1. There's not even a serious discussion to be had. LSU 3, Georgia 4, Miami is 5. Now, here come the expectations with Miami, because they are legit. I don't doubt that. I didn't doubt that in the preseason. There were just a few things I wanted to see about them. Consistency in performance is going to be the key to their whole season, which it kind of is for everyone. But remember last year, they were so up and down, up and down. I'm fascinated to see if that team can get this many flowers this early in the season and maintain consistency in performance. And you know who else is fascinated to see that? Mario Cristobal. Oregon 6, Texas 7, Clemson 8. Texas dropped to 7, huh? I guess it makes sense. Okay, whatever. Clemson's 8. Either I'd have Texas higher or Clemson lower, I think. Notre Dame's 9. No problem with that. They shouldn't drop a whole lot. And South Carolina's, they're at 10. Okay, I got to remember this is not power ratings world. These are rankings. Okay, South Carolina at 10. There better be some upward mobility, is all I'm saying. We've got to get that wide receiver room still figured out. We got to be more dynamic pass catching. We got to help Lenore Sellers out. Illinois is at 11. Do you know what Illinois does this week? They go on the road to Duke. That's a very underrated game. They're a 2.5-point favorite at Duke. But I got no problem with the ranking. I don't have a problem with Arizona State at 12. Florida is at 13. And look at FSU at 14. I may have them higher. I think if I were ranking, I may have them higher. This goes back to the whole logic of rankings, which I'll get to in a second. Let's get to it now. Okay. You know what? No, I'll get to it in a second because I want to get through this right quick. Michigan's 15. This note is fascinating. Listen to this. This is important. This is very important. I think this is from Chris Felica. Florida State, and Miami are all ranked in the top 15 for the first time since 2006 preseason. Inexplicable stat. Inexplicable. But you know what? You can't do anything about the past. The state of Florida, as I've told you a million times, is the key storyline in college football. Because if those programs collectively have their act together, therefore they keep more of their in-state talent home, not only does it help them, but it impacts Ohio State and Clemson and Bama and Georgia and everyone else that's gone into South Florida and raided the talent pool. You'll never totally cut it off, but you can severely limit the flow of in-state talent out of state. We'll get back to the video 1 second. Do me one quick favor. Look down. Make sure you're subscribed. Most of you are. If you're not, please do so. It's the way we keep the channel free, we keep the videos coming, and we get to do college football year-round as God intended. All right, as promised, back to the video. Through 1 week, things look promising. What do we got? We got Iowa State 16, SMU 17. All right, there's this glob of SEC teams that I promise you, OU, A&M, Ole Miss, Bama, Tennessee, any of your power ratings out there are going to have that entire group of teams higher because the power ratings world is going to be disproportionately reliant on talent ratings, recruiting rankings, portal ratings. You can decide what you think about that. But all of those teams would be a little higher. Indiana, Texas Tech, Utah's too low at 25. I don't think people watched them. I don't think a lot of people watched them. There's no way, even if you're just ranking teams, that you watched Utah the other night and said, yeah, I think there are 24 teams better than them. All right, I want to talk to you about the logic here right quick. This is one of many reasons I don't participate in this. So you either think of rankings one of two ways if you're an AP voter. You either do what some people do and you just rank based on body of work, or you set your preseason rankings and use that as your default. Okay, here's what that means. Florida State, no one had them ranked in their preseason ranking. Well, we just watched Florida State play a game, and they dominated Alabama. Now, if you're just going off the body of work, and you didn't even acknowledge that rankings existed before you got results on the field, Florida State should be way higher than 14. There aren't 13 results more impressive than that. So if you're going strictly off body of work, then they should be up there. Well, if you're going off the fact that you had them unranked, then you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I can't bump them all the way up into the top 10. What am I going to do? Go from unranked to top 10? Well, that's no way to think about this. If you want to think that way, you might as well do power ratings like I do. So it's always been stupid to me that people who do rankings adhere to their preseason predictions. Who cares about your predictions? I don't even care about mine. Once the season starts, if you're ranking teams, you ought to go off the body of work. Let me ask you this. Georgia Tech's unranked. Why? Auburn's unranked. Why? USC is unranked. Louisville. TCU's unranked. Missouri's unranked. South Florida beat Boise. Why are they unranked? Why is Nebraska unranked, but Alabama is? Alabama looked atrocious in week 1. Well, they're still ranked, Josh, because they were preseason top 10. If you're ranking teams, it doesn't matter. Hey, I got them power rated 12th, but that's only because there aren't many teams still that would be favored against them on a neutral field, which is what power ratings are. Rankings, Bama shouldn't be ranked right now. And conversely, Auburn should. Georgia Tech should. So this stuff has never made sense to me because I've never thought that people can make up their minds on what rankings really are.